The Modular Street Construction Pack and the Accessories for Buildings and Streets Pack are the perfect complements for the Modular Building Construction Pack, allowing you to create streets and pedestrian sidewalks in a very fast and intuitive way, while filling these streets and buildings with lots of assets. In the Modular Construction Pack tutorial, we showed how to create classic buildings with the modules provided with that pack, and here, we'll see how to create complete urban environments using the street modules and the accessories supplied by these two packs. Remember, there is a bundle in the Reallusion Content Store that provides the 3 packs with a sensible reduction on the price. This pack is subdivided in 3 types of elements: the sidewalk modules, the street modules, and the median street modules. There are 4 street modules for each material variation: a 9 by 9 meters big street module, a 3 by 9 meters small street module, a 9 by 9 meters intersection module, and a 3 by 9 meters pedestrian cross. The pack provides 10 seamless material variations for the street modules, so you can choose between a variety of textures depending on the type of street. There are 4 sidewalk pedestrian modules for each material variation, all 3 by 3 meters. We also provide 10 seamless material variations for the sidewalk modules that can be mixed with the street material variations, offering a big number of combinations. The pack also includes 3 by 3 meters median strip modules to separate lanes and big avenues. There are 3 types of modules for each material variation. These modules have the same 10 material variations provided on the sidewalks, plus a grass material for garden median strips. This material variation has 3 seamless middle modules with 3 seamless grass textures, in order to avoid the texture repetition pattern. So, let's see how to build a street with the buildings previously generated with the Modular Building Construction Pack. First thing to do is to go to the Preference panel, and scrolling down, to activate iClone's Snap feature in the increment mode, setting the move interval to 100, and the rotation angle snap to 45 degrees. Remember that if you don't see the Preference panel, you can bring it up pressing simultaneously the Ctrl and P keys. Depending on the scenes of your project, you'll realize that a lot of times it's not necessary to build the complete buildings, but just the facades that are going to appear in the sequences. This method is strongly recommended, as it reduces the number of polygons present in the project and improves iClone's performance. In this project, I have created this camera traveling sequence, so I only need to fill what is going to be shown by the camera. First, I recommend to start creating the pedestrian areas surrounding the buildings. In order to do that, we have to go to our Content Manager, and, in the Sidewalks folder, we can choose the texture style we want to use, between the 10 types provided by the pack. For example, let's use the style number 10. Double-clicking in the middle module, it will appear in the 0 out position. Then, clicking the W key, we select the Translate gizmo to move the module. Remember, you can hide and show the gizmo clicking Ctrl Q in the keyboard. Notice that, as the Snap tool is activated, the module moves in steps of 1 meter, making its placement very easy. In order to duplicate the module, we only have to press the Ctrl key while moving it, and a new copy of the module will appear. We can repeat the process several times, but also, we can select several modules clicking on them, while keeping pressing the Ctrl key, and once they are selected, we can duplicate all of them in one single step, moving the group while still pressing the Ctrl key. Once we reach the corners of the building, we need to load the corner modules of the same style from the Content Manager, and place them in their positions. First the left corner, and then the right corner. As the modules of both buildings and sidewalks have the same width, they match in size, making the creation of the sidewalks a very easy task. The sidewalk modules are 15 centimeters high, so we should elevate the buildings 15 centimeters as well, if we want to have them level. In the building tutorial video, I recommended to use buildings with their modules merged, so it's very easy to select all of them, and using the Z field of the Modify panel, move them up 15 centimeters in one single operation. And so, we obtain a perfect align between the buildings and the pedestrian areas. Now, we can keep duplicating the sidewalk modules to fill the building perimeters. While using the E key to select the rotating gizmo, and the W key to select the moving gizmo, the snap feature of iClone allows us to place the new modules without effort. Remember, we only fill the areas that are going to be visible in the camera sequence, so when we have finished placing the sidewalk modules, we can check if there is some gap, playing the sequence in the camera view. Everything looks fine, so we can start placing the street modules in the same way we did with the sidewalks. In the Content Manager, we select the Streets folder, browsing for the type of street we want to use. Let's choose again the style number 10, double-clicking in the main street module. Again, the snap feature allows us to move the module in steps of 1 meter, so it's very easy to place it near the sidewalk edge, and duplicate it using the Control key. But here we find a problem. As the size of the sidewalk modules is 3 meters by 3 meters, we cannot fill these 1 meter gaps on both sides of the lateral street. So either we must reduce or enlarge the width of the sidewalks, but their width always have to be a multiple of 3. For this tutorial, let's make a wide pedestrian zone 6 meters wide, in both sides of the lateral street, and I can show the use of the fill sidewalk modules. So, we have to return to the sidewalks folder, choosing the sidewalk fill module of the style number 10. The fill modules don't have curbs, being designed to fill inner areas that are not in contact with the streets. Okay, now we can keep adding street modules. We have the zebra cross modules that are usually placed in the corners. And the intersection modules as well, especially designed to be where 2 streets cross. We keep duplicating and moving the modules building the street. As you can see, the process is very simple and straight. To end the street, we can use the 1 meter wide street module, that is very useful filling these gaps. And little by little, the street is getting completed, just using combinations of these 4 types of street modules. One advantage of to duplicate the modules is that the textures of the new modules are instances of the original one, not increasing the video memory used by iClone. The street modules have 2 lanes where the traffic can go in 2 opposite directions, or in the same direction. Also, we can place 2 street modules side by side to create wider avenues. And here is where the median strip modules become useful, because we can separate the lanes with a pedestrian area with curbs in both sides. First, we place the edges of the median strip using the end modules aligned with the zebra cross, and then, we can keep filling the median strip with the middle modules. We can fill the median with tiled modules, but also we can include some grass areas suitable for gardening, using the extra style number 11. There, we can add plants or trees provided by other packs like the Total Plants 2 from Reallusion. So, this is how our project is looking in the sequence from the camera view, after all the street elements have been placed. And it's looking pretty good, so we could start placing the accessories in the project. But before, let's group all the median and street modules as we did with the sidewalks. In the Scene Manager, we filter by the word median. Then we select all the props except the first one. And we attach the selected objects to the first one. After removing the filter, we click on the name column to sort the browser by name, and we select all the street modules, again except the first one, repeating the attaching of the selected objects to the first street module. Now the sidewalks, median strips and street modules are single objects that can be selected with one single click, but being still editable. At this point, we can select these parent objects linking their materials, reducing the amount of graphic memory used by iClone. In order to improve iClone's performance, it's highly recommended to merge the attached props to their parent, But keep in mind that this operation is irreversible, so if you are not sure about doing further modifications on these props, I recommend that you save them in a temporarily folder before to perform the merge operation. So, we temporarily save the 3 props with their subprops attached but not merge, because then, in case of need, we can always recover these props with their subprops available to be modified. Once we have saved them, we can proceed to merge their subprops in the scene, making them much easier to be managed by iClone. Now, the project is ready to be filled with the building and street accessories. The accessories are divided in 2 main groups: the accessories for buildings and the accessories for streets. Each one of these groups has several models and other folders containing props of the same category. They are applied on the scene as any other prop of iClone, and you can enable or disable the Snap iClones feature at your convenience. For example, if we want to add an awning to the balconies of this building, it's better if we disable the snap for the first one, so we can place it carefully. Then, we can reactivate the snap and duplicate the awning, as always pressing the Control key while moving the prop. The snap feature will make extremely easy to place the copies of the awning in their right position. We see that the central balcony is flanked by columns. So after selecting the scale gizmo pressing the R key, we can reduce the width of the prop without being affected by the snap, as we had set it just for moving and rotating. Now, we can duplicate the scaled awning, and the new copies will be easily snapped in place. Another useful trick is to use the Align to tool of iClone. For example, let's place a box with electric wiring in the facade of the same building. Again, we disable the Snap tool to place the first prop over the wall. Then, double-clicking on the next wire element, it will appear in the zero-out area of the project, out of our view, but instead to go to find it, we just have to click Ctrl-L in the keyboard. We'll see that the cursor changes, and we have to click over the reference element for the alignment. A menu will appear, and we only have to check all the axes to bring the new prop in the same position than the one used as reference. Then, we activate the Snap tool again and pressing W. We use the moving gizmo to place the new element perfectly connected with the previous one. If we duplicate that element, while having the Snap option enabled, look how easy it is to join them over the wall. We can finish the wiring in the same way, selecting the wire cable with the box in the right, and using again the aligning tool to bring the prop and finally place it. As the sidewalks are 15 centimeters high, the props being over them should be elevated that distance in the Z-axis. That can be done manually, using the Z position field in the Modify panel. And so, we can fill our project with numerous elements from this pack. Sometimes using the snap in its increment mode, and sometimes just disabling the snap mode. Notice that some elements have child objects that can be manipulated individually, like the traffic lights. Those subprops can be rotated, for example, in order to face the appropriate direction. Some materials can also emit light. To do that, select the material with the eyedropper, and in the material editor, select the glow map, and increase its strength slider. Other elements are designed to be aligned to other props, like the pedestrian traffic lights or the pool banners, that need a pool to be fixed. Again, the Align tool becomes very useful here. We could have attached the banners to the first street lamp, and then duplicate it already with the banners. But in any case, using the Snap feature, it's really easy to duplicate the banners in their right position. And so, we can keep adding all type of urban elements in order to enrich the aspect of the streets. A total of 211 accessory props are supplied in the pack. Some of them especially designed to match in size with the building and street modules, so when duplicating and placing them, they look perfectly integrated with those modules without further manipulations. And this is how, using the props of this bundle, we can create infinite number of urban streets in iClone. Remember that the special bundle offers the 3 packs at a reduced price, providing a total of 1,181 props for your projects. And here we have the final render of the traveling camera of this project. I just added a sky image billboard in the background, but all the rest, and more, is provided by this bundle.